Good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, I ended up not setting an alarm. Woke up at 4 anyway. Man, I slept so good last night in the shelter. The wind finally quit howling. That's nice. And I decided to wait until it got daylight before I started hiking, because I just don't like hiking in the dark. And there's so many roots and rocks in this area. And so I decided I'd roll the dice on that one. So started a little before 6 o'clock and ready to roll today. I can't believe that it's so close. It really is hard to believe. So what I didn't realize until this morning is the kiosk to get signed up for the birches is 0.8 of a mile past where I wanted to resupply. So I'm gonna hike there, and I passed some other hikers coming back from the kiosk, and they said 9 people have signed up so far and nobody was in front of me. So hopefully I'll get in, and then I'll hike back 0.8 of a mile to resupply. There's a restaurant there too, so probably have a big healthy second breakfast. Well, I got a spot at the birches. I was number 11, so snuck in there, and he said I just have to be back here by 10 a.m. or I lose my spot. They'll start giving it up. So it gives me plenty of time to go back to Able Campground, resupply, and have a great big old second breakfast. Hopefully the restaurant's open. We shall see. Well, the diner is only open if you stayed at the campground here, and I did not. So I had to substitute for a different second breakfast. Quite a few day hikers today, and I just ran into a grandfather with his granddaughter, and she was about 10 years old, and she was not feeling the nature walk, and he was telling her it's not too much further to Big Niagara Falls. I'm like, it really isn't. And he got to ask him questions, and when she dawned on her that I had walked here from Georgia, she said, "What? From Georgia to here?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, when you're done, how are you going to get home?" And I said, "Well, I'll fly home." She goes, "Why didn't you just fly here?" Oh, kids, gotta love them. taken all the blue blazes today. It's not even noon, and I only have 3 miles left, so I'm taking all the sights. This morning I finished up the 100-mile wilderness, and I just want to share some concluding thoughts with you about the 100-mile wilderness. It really was a place of healing of my heart, mind, and soul. It was a beautiful place, a magical place, and one of the few places along the AT that I would hike again. So if you ever get a chance to hike the 100-mile wilderness, it is a beautiful, beautiful place to go to. So when I made it to camp, or to the next ranger station after I checked in at the first one, and I hiked my 10 miles and got to the second one where I had to check in again, and I got there like at 1 o'clock. I'm like, we're all sitting there waiting for the ranger to show up, and I'm like, what are we supposed to do? It's so early. And everybody says, eat, just eat and rest, because tomorrow is going to be hard. So tomorrow is going to be 5.5 miles, 4,200 feet of elevation gain, and it's really hard to believe that this is the end, and almost there. It's exciting and hard at the same time. Anyway, I do want to share with you, I mentioned in one of my earlier videos that a couple of years ago I lost all my gear in a bad river crossing, and then I just came out with my life. My dear friend Esther plucked me out of the river. But that day, even though I lost all my gear, I did have one piece of equipment that was clipped to my belt loop. And it was a gift that my son had given me. My son Spencer gave me years ago. And it's the only piece of equipment that I have taken on the entire PCT and now the AT. And that is this little Kershaw knife. It has been my go-to, and it's the only thing that's made it on both trips the whole way. So it means a lot to me to at least have one thing. I've changed tents, sleeping bags, and other things along the way, but I always have my little Kershaw knife. It's really hard to believe that tomorrow is the day to summit, and I'm super happy, and it's going to be amazing. All people are talking here at camp tonight is about the wind, and they wish it would quit. It kind of comes and goes right now, so right now it's kind of quiet, but it is only supposed to be 5 to 10 miles an hour tomorrow morning, which is good. And the other thing that we're all talking about is that it's supposed to get down in the 30s tonight, so it's going to be cold. But I will be well rested and looking forward to tomorrow. Morning. It's hard to believe it's the last day. It's really hard to believe, but it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day. After today, the weather's supposed to be bad for 3 or 4 days. It's a Saturday, and it's lots of people. It looks like we're going to be climbing the mountain today, so it's going to be a busy one. I have a lot of company. It's hard to believe. Here I go. So they do have a place down by the ranger station where we can leave a lot of our gear and just go up light. So that's what I did. I left behind my sleep system and my cook system. Really light my pack. So that will be helpful for today. One more thing. Yesterday, I had to register with the ranger for my climb and officially finishing the Appalachian Trail. And I was hiker number 878 Nobo to make it this far. I can't believe it was under 1,000, but pretty happy with that number. had the most perfect day for a summit, and it got down by 1 o'clock and waited for the shuttle, and the shuttle driver finally picked us up at 4 o'clock, brought us to Millinocket, and there was a music festival going on here. And it felt like we were driving forever to Millinocket, and finally I said, like, how far of a drive is it to town? And he said, oh, it's over an hour. He said, you were out, he goes, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and this town is in the middle of nowhere. But it was just an absolutely wonderful day. You know, I started my trip at Amicalola, which was the approach trail, and Amicalola, and the Cherokee language means tumbling waters. And I ended my hike at Katahdin, which in the Penobscot language means greatest mountain. And it has been an amazing journey. Thank you so much for watching and coming along with me. And I just can't thank everyone enough for their support, especially my family and friends. You have been amazing. Thank you so much. Sometime down the road, in maybe a week or so, I will post a gear review and kind of wrap things up about how my gear worked and what didn't work, and how everything settled out with that as a follow-up. So thank you all so very much again for watching. It's been an incredible journey. Thank you.